And usually the scale tips towards Chaminade in the blue and white, but throughout the past couple seasons, it's been all Friars.
Quick dodge inside, and Duke on the board first. It's the sophomore star, Charles Balsamo.
And right on cue, talking about Chaminade, and there's the Chaminade boy getting involved on the offense today. 5'8", a bit of a smaller attacker. He plays from the midfield line. Really special player, 20 goals in his freshman season. Had a goal against Bellarmine. Really, really good showcase from him this season. There's the replay. High bouncer, gets over and reaching towards the bottom.
Here's Maillet. They look inside. Low bouncer. It'll be backed up by Nick Rizzo. The shot coming from Matt Lutzel, the sophomore.
That was a really creative play to try to get the defense caught offside with the fake pass to Maillet.
And Highpoint stings the corners. Nick Murphy with his first tally of the afternoon.
Nick Murphy was the first goal scorer for the Highpoint Panthers in their Mercer game, and he gets the first goal here today. Great shot placement from him, putting that ball low.
3 of 3 at the X to begin the afternoon. And we spoke to John Danowski, longtime Duke head coach, about his goalkeepers. William Helm is currently slated as the third stringer, the man who led them to the Final Four a season ago. Meehan dodges inside, and Highpoint in front.
Tommy Mahan getting on the board. Highpoint Panthers with their first lead of the day. Great job from Meehan, understanding his matchup, moving down the alley with incredible speed, and finishes over the top. Great shot from Tommy Meehan, even better control for the redshirt junior.
Well, how about this from High?
You get a little confused between the rules of both sports. Very similar, but a lot close quarters. You understand why Brady Maillet is just a prolific influence on the crease inside. He just finishes every single shot that he puts towards the cage.
Duke still looking to get their offense going. Barely any touches for O'Neal. Right on the doorstep, and Dyson Williams finishes. So Duke leveling it up right as we say their offense was struggling to get uncorked.
That's about as smooth as a finish you're going to see from a cutting attackman, and you'll see on the replay he finishes opposite hand, conjuncting his hands across his body, able to finish. Overin gets caught looking down, low and away. Easy, easy goal for Dyson Williams.
Well, Williams led this team in goals a season ago, Mike, with 67 came against Highpoint. That is his 16th goal of his career against. He said he's hoping Dyson Williams, Brennan O'Neal, and Josh Zawada can establish some of that three-man chemistry to make this offense hit its full potential. As we say that, O'Neal to Williams, and Duke back in front.
It's hard to outrun really good ball movement, and the Duke Blue Devils showcase some exceptional ball movement there. Passes on the sticks, another easy finish for Dyson Williams on the near post.
About how the slide has to be perfectly timed, especially against O'Neal, who will take any inch of space a mile. Nick Rizzo looking for real estate around goal line extended. Was looking inside. A well-timed interception from Cole Kraus. Transitional affair so far. Quick tic-tac-toe, and Duke with their third unanswered. Jake Caputo, the short stick. Duke on a 3-0 run.
Jake Caputo there, the short stick D-mid. Getting a goal early. They love that transition. Offense flowing through the midfield line. And there it is. Jake Naso on the field, someone who is capable of picking up 11, 12 ground balls a game and winning the faceoff to himself, pushing transition offensively. Highpoint doing a really good job shutting that down.
Cook gets inside. Jamison is level to it and will usher over to his defender as Duke looks to clear.
Someone who averaged over a caused turnover a game heading into conference play last year. So he is someone who is overly aggressive on the ride and makes it count.
Ben Johnston gets on the board for Duke. The 4th-ranked freshman in the Power 100.
And that's what Duke does. They just get all these top 100 recruits, He was number 4 on that freshman top 100 list that Inside Lacrosse posted, and we talked about it before the game. He is one player that loves to come across his body. He is an exceptional shooter on the run. Made his name a staple and household name in NCAA lacrosse.
This is the freshman Justin Wickstead. Speaking of recruits with high expectations, he's one of those for Highpoint.
A really amazing story. Coach Torpy almost changed highways.
He does get inside. He's on the edge of the crease as the flag flies. Goal is good, and Panthers break the drought.
Goal call officially good, and there it is for Justin Wickstead, his first goal of the career, and right on cue. Coach Torpy fell absolutely in love with him. The way his aggression with the ball, he is unafraid of contact. He wanted that first career goal. You saw it against Mercer.
In the most circuitous of fashions, O'Neal scoops it off the deck. A fun one in front of a sellout crowd at Vert Stadium. We expected a big turnout. Fans have not disappointed. Duke looking to rocket right back after the prolonged stoppage. Here's McAdory. Can't quite get his hands free. Solid defending by Joy. Here's O'Neal. Down the alley. O'Neal! His first of the day. A snipe from the Tuarton winner.
An unbelievable goal from Brennan O'Neal. Helps them boost their lead to 3. Had the mismatch, loves that spot on the near wing. I mean, he just has some of the quickest stick skill.
We spoke to John Danowski about Brennan O'Neal. He says, naturally you wonder with the #1 recruit, does he have the hunger? He certainly does, and he's the ultimate team first guy as well. As Denenza is stripped, Duke recovers. O'Neal, once again, a 3rd point here in the first quarter.
A nice crease crank from Brennan O'Neal. Duke taking advantage of that ball on the ground. Brennan.
Zawada. Dancing around the crease. Gets his hands free, and Duke is on a tear.
Really exceptional goal from Josh Zawada. Got his defenseman's feet in the back of that netting behind X. Taking advantage of his exceptional footwork. Really great job getting topside about 3 yards above.
The Tuarton trophy sitting in his bedroom, but not on prominent display. It's on top of a cabinet. Vanover back at X as Highpoint looks to stem the tide of this Duke dominance towards the end of the first.
Honestly, I wouldn't expect anything less from a lacrosse player just putting it up on their shelf. Nothing special.
Is that what you would do with it?
Yeah, probably. It would collect dust somewhere. I mean, it wouldn't be out and about.
Well, you went to Chaminade, so a rival high school at that. Off to the top, Tommy Meehan with a strike. 2nd goal of the day.
Number 2 for Tommy Meehan as he helps shut down that run that Duke was on offensively. Watch the replay here. Gets some contact, eats the contact. He was a former Division I football recruit, so he's a heck of an athlete. Obviously the commotions of this game, you're playing number 2 Duke, but you get asked to go on the field. You want to be able to do your job, and a costly mistake from the freshman to give Duke an opportunity.
Around the horn to Zawada. Here's Balsamo. Denenza's free, and Duke fires right back. Blue Devils by 5 once again.
There's Denenza. He gets his right hand free. Super strong physical dodger. But when he gets to set his feet, plant, and shoot, he's going to finish, and he does there. An exceptional shot. He's got a ripper right over the top, puts it down.
Williams is free. Creeping a little too close to the crease.
Too many second chance opportunities that Duke's getting right now. This defense needs to get on the ground and hunt some ground balls.
Just 5 to shoot for Duke. Zawada feeds it across. Dyson Williams in the crease. Looked like he beat the shot clock, but his feet landed in that transgression zone.
What a great goal from Josh Sawada, diving into the crease.
And it will stand for Duke.
Exceptional goal right there from Zawada. Great effort from Overend to try to make the save, coming across his bot. Play against a team like Duke and understand those type of shots that are coming out of Brennan O'Neal's stick, that are coming out of Andrew McAdory's stick. Their shots are so different. They're so unique to the game, especially Brennan's.
Highpoint coming out of the timeout in need of a goal to kickstart a run. Duke has seized control. Cook downhill, rings the pipe, flag flies. Waiting for official words from the refs, but Highpoint celebrating like they've tallied one.
Yeah, they're going to call that one a goal there. He got pushed on the backside, no doubt about it. Caputo pushed him right into the crease. Great control with his left hand from Colin Cook. He finished there against Mercer inside.
A lot of reviews here early in this first half. Mike, let's take another look.
He slid right. It's tough to assess. It's tough to assess it, especially when it's moving so slow. Obviously, now it looks like the push that Caputo put on Cook wasn't necessarily. Looked more like a flop now. That
all afternoon for Maye, 2 goals and 2 assists for O'Neal. So O'Neal certainly having the upper hand in that matchup. Naso was 8 of 16 in the first half from the face-off X. Colin Hoban now moves to 7 and 14 himself. Quickly on the run, sling high there, but that kid has a cannon wherever he shoots.
There is not a spot on this lacrosse field that is a shot that is a weakness in his arsenal. I think about every shot that he takes.
McAdory top side. Williams denied on the crease. The follow-up goes for Duke. It's Ben Johnston's second of the day. And speaking of cannons, how about that from the freshman?
Great job from Charles Balsamo, keeping his head up after that rebound off that shot. Found an open man in Ben Johnston, and he just fires that one. Set feet shooter, exceptionally physical midfielder, super young guy, making his name heard here at Vert.
Meehan looking for a third. Jamison has been so secure since that first quarter of action.
Whatever was said at halftime to him, especially this defensive front, you got a guy like Kenny Brower helping solidify the defense.
O'Neal, he's free. Goal line extended, Dyson Williams. Quick 2 goals for Duke to begin the third.
The shot selection from Dyson Williams. He dropped his hands right before the shot. Got Chris O'Grady, which there's a goalie change in net for Highpoint, with Chris O'Grady stepping in to this game at half. 80 so far, doing a great job on those low shots.
Here's Denenza. Zawada, tic-tac-toe, Dyson Williams the beneficiary. Chris O'Grady's been shelled to begin his afternoon.
Not how you want to start the third quarter defensively if you're Highpoint, but offensively, it's been an amazing showcase from this Duke offense. Too many scorers to count, too many superstars. And there it is, Dyson Williams, who had his career best game, 7 goals against Highpoint, and he is just adding to the tally.
Have really been their undoing so far. It's got to be so frustrating as a close defender as well, Mike, when you do all that work and then you're unable to clear that pressure, especially against a team as lethal as Duke.
And then you're on the field for another 60 seconds, another minute of stamina that you need to have. Wow.
Well, McAdory ensures it doesn't take a minute. 8-goal advantage now for Duke.
Wow. The control from McAdory, finding an opening, getting his hands free. Just another box lacrosse move. Amazing shot, low to high from Andrew McAdory.
Duke starts to control the face-off X. If you're Highpoint, you start to feel it slipping away. Here's the slide. Zawada's free. Zawada scores.
And they're just peppering him on now.
Timeout, John Torpy. It is all Duke here to begin the third, Mike.
And that's one of their plays right off a transition. They like to attack the defense. Stadium, obviously, that goalie change from over into O'Grady at halftime. Obviously, an interesting decision from
Alex Slusher, the Princeton transfer. You mentioned a third-line midfielder. It speaks to the depth and talent of this Duke team. Lost a few guys in the offseason, but they've reloaded and brought back their key contributors as well. Zawada, make it another. They're tripling up Highpoint.
And Josh Zawada from the top of the box gets that goal. Usually an ex-attackman, really was forming into his role as a facilitator in their last time out, but he has done an
Pressured heavily by the freshman long pole Corey O'Connor. Rotated to O'Neal. Williams, goal line extended. Make it a five-piece.
Once again, great ball movement from Duke. Gets the ball around the horn once and finds their amazing finisher in Dyson Williams. He gets on the board for this field right now. Some switches up on that defense, though. You get Jake Wilson out there, 44 for Duke.
Wickstead around goal line extended. Maye off the turf. His first goal of the day, and that comes before the penalties are assessed.
Would have loved to have that goal about 25 minutes ago. A really slow start for Braden Maye. Finally gets it going here with under 5 minutes left in the third. Probably one of the best inside finishers.
Rizzo free. Jamison once again.
Two really good back-to-back saves from Jamison. Obviously, a pretty tough save off that Rizzo shot. A really good job to step into it.
Now O'Neal pushing tempo, and a pole goal for Duke. Jake Wilson, the defenseman, extends the lead for the Blue Devils.
Jake Wilson, as I said earlier, all these poles.
Opening faceoff. Morin Weeks unable to cause trouble, and that's the end of the third. Duke outscores Highpoint 8-1 to take an 11-goal advantage as there's some late extracurriculars at the end of 45 minutes. It is all Blue Devils here in the final 15.
The next play. If you got your head down with the intent to try to go to the goal, you're not going to see the next open man.
Meehan unable to get downhill. Finds Maye around goal line extended. Henry Bard, step for step with him. Change in goal for Duke. It is has played at some of the highest levels of college lacrosse. The Ivy League is nothing to scoff at.
He's a very capable goalie, but one thing I will say about him, he likes to overextend his hands a little bit and plays a little bit too far out on the pipe. So hopefully Highpoint can recognize that and maybe get a couple goals here.
Johnston with a hat trick.
And there's that freshman getting number 3 on the day. A really nice shot location. Usually he likes to put it off the ground, get it up high, but there he puts it, that one low and away.
It's a long pole. You draw that matchup much?
I drew the matchup a lot. There's another guy, Dylan D'Agostino, who goes to Navy. That was one that I would draw more often. He was an aggressive midfielder, loved to get to the middle of the field a lot. But Denenza was more of their step-down midfielder, spot-up shooter.
Over and back goes back to Highpoint. Highpoint has managed 1 goal since halftime. Make it 2. Much needed to stem the tide for the Panthers.
And there's Jackson Clay with the feed. He finds Matt Lutzel, who gets his second start at attack today. Really great shot from him. Understands that this goalie is not fresh. He hasn't had a warm-up yet. Most
After falling in the national championship game to Notre Dame last May, John Danowski said, on the one hand, it was such a fun campaign. So many guys were angry after we missed the tournament in 2022, and it felt like we were playing with house money. But this year, we have to train up in our returners that you're not entitled to that spot. You have to work every single day to get there. Duke has taken care of business so far today.
They're number 2 in the nation for a reason. Obviously, the loss to Notre Dame in the NCAA championship is a tough loss.
Quick stick for Zawada. Balsamo scoops up the loose change. Duke leading by 12. Charles Balsamo, the man who opened the scoring, adds another, Mike.
Another replay here to look at that one. Easy finish from Charles Balsamo. And he's 1-2 against Ohio State, and then all-time against Syracuse, he's 8-10.
Jacksonville beating Duke last year. Delgado's free. He gets his first.
And there goes Thomas Delgado, the 5'11 freshman. Another one of those players ranked incredibly high on that inside freshman top 100 list. Beats his matchup, sets his feet, and sends a beautiful shot into the cage. Gets that one past Overend, and he gets his first goal of the day.
First goal and first point of the young freshman's. Van Overback to the top on the edge of the crease. Goal stands, and the Panthers put it right back in the cage. Matt Lutzel's second of the day.
Number 2 for Lutzel. Vano drew the double team, understood that if he kept his eyes up, he had an open Matt Lutzel. And there you see it. Pins that top right corner, assumes the cut away off that last review that Tommy Meehan had.
I don't know if this one stands, Mike.
Check this replay one more time. I think it's a defensive penalty here. I don't think there's any sort of quorum with the decision on the goal.
There was some tiptoeing around the crease by Lutzel. Stick came before he hit the crease, it seems. Not in the crease. Yeah, I think you're looking at potential more severe penalty on the defender there, right?
Yeah, I think that they're going to award that one towards a Duke defense. I think it's just an overly aggressive push. Best lacrosse in February. It's a long season ahead, a long road ahead for a lot of these teams that are going to be playing in May. Highpoint being one of those hopeful teams.
You figure Duke will be tested over the course of this non-conference slate. You mentioned Jacksonville, a couple other standouts. And then ACC play is no cakewalk. Virtually every team is ranked. Nice skip pass and a terrific finish around goal line extended for Rizzo. Highpoint cashes in on the man up.
Nick Rizzo cashing it on the man up. Here's the replay. Really good skip pass from Isaiah Moore and Weeks, finding the open Rizzo. An easy shot and finish for number 9.
Rizzo gets on the board with his first point of the day. Someone who drew 41 goals through their first 2 games. An offense that was ranked 5th in the nation a season ago, with major statements here in their first 2 games. Mike, dominant from Duke here today. They win by 12.
A big statement win for them, winning by 12 against the Highpoint Panthers. It's hard to come into an away game and put up points like they did. 21 goals, a really exceptional tally for these Blue Devils. A lot of young guys getting involved. Ben Johnson gets his first career hat trick.